My name is Ronnie Cheng. I'm from Hong Kong. I am a media studies major and I'm also minoring in English. That is a part of the Media, Film, and Journalism Studies Department, aka MFJS. So that is located at the very south end of campus. I would describe my program as awesome, intriguing, and relevant. The requirements for my major are pretty straightforward. You take classes from a list of options, and it doesn't require an internship, but you can take one for an elective. My favorite thing about the building is the studio. I think it's really cool. I don't have photos of it right now, but it has like black walls, lighting setups, and everything you could need, and I think it's really cool. One unusual thing about the building is that it's pretty small. Most people who haven't taken an MFJS class don't know where it is, and I had a pretty hard time finding it at first. So the major doesn't have official specializations, but I've kind of geared my classes more towards a film focus. I've always enjoyed filmmaking. I started making short films with my friends like 8 years ago. And I went for a media studies major because I get to study a broader field. And if filmmaking doesn't work out, I'm also interested in photojournalism. No, I'm a first generation college student, and no one in my family is in the media industry. My ultimate goal is to be a writer director, but I'd also be happy to be a photojournalist. I'm especially interested in social movements and uprisings as a subject matter. I think that these are really important stories to tell, like the women's rights movement or Stonewall. And I would really like to be able to tell these stories through filmmaking or photography. Best case scenario is I can sell a script and direct it, but that's highly unlikely. I mean, I don't quite know exactly what I want to do right out of graduation right now, but I'd be happy to work in a production company or in journalism for a bit. This quarter I'm taking 16 credits. For my major I need 40 credits. I have not had an internship. I'd like to do a film-specific or a journalism-specific internship, but something like the Denver Post, but I don't quite know what right now. I am filming this right outside the MFJS building. I'm living on campus right now, so I thought I'd come here and show you what it's like. None of them I've found hard, but intro to field production and editing, which I'm taking right now, is time-consuming. Definitely chemistry 10-10 with the lab. That was the last straw for me. I was originally a biology major, but that class made me decide to switch my major. I really can't decide. I enjoyed them all, but Intro to Film Criticism and Politics and Media are probably my top two. Intro to Film Criticism was the first MFJS class I took, so A, it was a class that I was really interested in, and B, it was a class that convinced me to switch my major, and Politics and Media is like a combination of two things I'm really passionate about, and getting to study the intersection between those two was really cool and fun. My favorite class ever was probably Thinking and Making in visual arts, so we did printmaking in that class. I got to do something creative and hands-on. Here are some of the prints that I'm especially proud of that I made in that class. And that class counted for a common curriculum requirement, so that worked out perfectly. My favorite professor would probably be Professor Lauren DiCarvalho. She taught my Intro to Film Criticism class. She's clearly so passionate about what she teaches. A lot of the professors here in MFJS are. And the class I took was really stimulating and interesting. And she also really cares about her students and always helps out whenever you ask for it. It really depends more on what you're trying to get out of your media studies degree. I'm going for more of a film focus, but in my opinion it would be Intro to Film Criticism, Intro to Field Production and Editing, and Politics and Media. I'd say Professors Lauren DiCarvalho, Kareem El-Damanari, and Nadia Kaniva. Okay, this person is a professor, but I haven't taken a class with her. I just interacted with her outside of class, but Sheila Schroeder. She's in charge of Project U Film, which I'm involved in, and I've been really able to learn a lot about film outside of class, and she's also really clearly so passionate about film, which is something I really love. I don't know about DU as a whole, but the MFJS department is definitely really supportive of their students. They send out so many emails with internships and opportunities that we can all participate in, and MFJS also has social media accounts that showcase students' work. My job as an RA, obviously this job can be kind of hard sometimes, but a lot of my self-care is like doing crafts and talking to people, and this job works great for me because it gives me an opportunity to do that through like bulletin boards and organizing socials for people without feeling like I'm being unproductive. So it really lets me distract myself from schoolwork for a bit. And also Suki, the puffer, is always here in the MFJS building. My favorite thing about my major is that it's broad and I get to explore different fields. I would like to take more film-specific classes, but again, due to the major being so broad, I'm not going as deep into film, but that's not a huge issue for me. For me, it's probably like people and friends. Like, I think it's a case for a lot of people. Having people there can be really motivating and makes it a lot easier. The coolest project that I've worked on, at least for class, is probably a stop-motion video I made out of paper cutouts as a creative response for an English class. It has a vending machine. It's great. It has a variety of snacks. So the nearest actual food joint is Wow World of Wings in the engineering building, and it's pretty good. I don't really know if people have misconceptions, but a lot of people ask me what being a media studies major entails. I usually give them the quick answer of like, it's a mix between film, journalism, strategic communication, all that good stuff, but it's really a study of the role media has in society and how media influences society. There aren't like really famous people from MFJS here, but I'd say James L. Conway, who's directed in a couple of the Star Trek series. It's the best because the professors are amazing and so supportive, and I also think that media is just a really cool field, especially now when it's kind of unavoidable and people consume media almost everywhere. I tell myself to breathe in, breathe out a lot. I'm a pretty calm person, but I think that there's a lot that can be really overwhelming, and it's helpful to take those little pauses just to think and process everything. academic advising and my major advisor. They're great, they help me figure things out, and every time I have a meeting with them, I just relax afterwards. I don't know if this is exactly a club, but Project U Film, it's basically this thing where students get to work with professionals and alumni in the field and create a short film together. Nothing really embarrassing has happened to me in this building. I guess the chairs in the studio have wheels on them, so one time when I was going to sit on one of them, it slid out, so I fell on the floor, but I was early for class, no one was there, so it wasn't too embarrassing for me. I'm not a very social person, especially not in class. But my friend Brendan, who was in my Day in the Life video, he's in the same department and we've taken many classes together. I would probably be studying film studies or English. I don't really make fun of other departments, but probably the business school. I'd say to really make use of your resources and get to know the professors because they can really help make your college experience much more fulfilling. Probably my favorite memory would be the Black Klansman screening and Q&A with Dr. Kevin Wilmot, who was a screenwriter for that movie. It was really cool because the movie was great and we also got to learn a lot more from the screenwriter himself. And yeah, that was lots of fun.